The Canadian mystery made Meghan and Marcus fool Harry, wrong and illegal PR strategy. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to LVT News. I have always wondered if Doria and Marcus live with them. Partially because Harry can be violent sometimes. So my ties and mother-in-law did that for exactly that reason. But Meghan is an evil witch who abuses other people. So actually, I don't have sympathy for any of them. At the end of the day, it's important to remember that Harry is a psychopath all by himself. He doesn't need any help from anybody. He was the one who actually made up the race allegations that he revealed in the Oprah interview. It actually supposedly was not a scheme or a plan of Meghan's. Meghan is no evil genius. She never was. And she never will. She is evil. Nobody's arguing that, but make it as not a genius. She's never been for over 5 years. It's been obvious who in the PR teams designed and wrote the strategies and how everything the Meghan touch was done wrong and illegal. All the business ideas that failed, the absurd business filings, for example, even the deals they signed. For example, do you know of any Netflix documentaries or books they're doing right now? Or no, Netflix is never going to give them all the money they promised. Netflix played the two of them, they signed a development deal. You see, it was not a talent deal. And that's why they decided to stop doing it in 18 months, they only made $9.8 million, and that included Spotify production fees. Meghan tried to show that she was a lot smarter than Harry. She claimed to present fees. She just took that $3 million from Disney, and it was supposed to go to the elephants, but it never did unless, of course, has happened in the last week or so, which it hasn't. But anyway, now back to the racism claims. So Harry is a psychopath. Now, I have spoken about that in detail. But anyway, I'm going to sign you all a little challenge. Try and find some images out there of Harry comforting anyone. In case you don't believe it, just do a little search and you will see there are only these PR puff pieces that are written by somebody else. And even those are just odd. Life will always be alright. You know that on his trip to New Zealand, Harry met a little boy who had lost his mother. Now, he comforted the 6-year-old, saying life will always be alright. You know that. And he also gave credit to his own grandmother, saying, "Nans are so important in our lives." Sounds like a nice story. On the surface, it was a 6-year-old boy. And you can notice the total lack of compassion. The only sensitivity was written by PR people with Meghan and Harry. Did you ever notice the images and video never really matched the narrative? So, again, I think it's important to understand that Harry is a psychopath in his own right, and he doesn't really deserve support from anybody. That is why Harry is so motivated to not be viewed as dumb. The ghostwriter even complained the ghostwriter actually dropped him in it by saying that he is unaware. See, a dim-witted psychopath is not really all that dangerous. Which is why I refer to them as psychopaths and sociopaths. But anyway, back to Meghan. She's a little different. Meghan is what we would call a malignant narcissist. Meghan claimed to be so intelligent with all these awards and these remarkable claims, like that she was valedictorian. It simply wasn't true. It's important to remember that point. I still have not come across anybody else except for maybe Chase who's making this point of it all being Harry's idea and Meghan being unintelligent, although we've got to admit, she is smarter than. And this is very important because in the hatred of Meghan, people are simply not understanding the full story. And that's why everybody right now is jumping on the divorce bandwagon. But still, I think we need to remember the timeline. Harry is a psychopath. And so he's competing with his brother. Meghan, of course, preferred Williams, something that Harry didn't know about until after the wedding was already said. That old, annoying Canadian video that has trundled out when Meghan claims to not know anything about the monarchy is also important in this whole story. And so what about the racism that Harry made up? Was it revenge plot or is this just a dumb, dumb trying to make other people happy like Kayleigh, who was pushing that narrative for Meghan, who was her client. I'm not sure you can debate this issue in the comments, but this just goes to show how absolutely evil O'Brien, Meghan, really are. I mean, they, over the course of 2 days, manipulated this dumb lies to fit their narrative in full knowledge that Harry didn't understand what. So who exactly is worse, the liar, psychopath, Harry or Meghan? The liar, malignant narcissist. Oprah was just using Meghan and Harry. That much is clear. Tyler Perry owns a studio and he has Oprah as a big client. And he never knew Meghan and Harry. In fact, he didn't even meet them, but Oprah made $50 million off the two of them. So she said it. So in this episode, why have I not talked more about Meghan being done and being malignant narcissist? Well, Meghan was so stupid that she didn't realize that Oprah and Tyler Perry